Welcome to Partnerships for Profit, the podcast where we bring you inside the world of joint ventures, strategic partnerships, and powerful collaborations. Whether you're looking to expand your network, find new referral partners, or scale your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Partnership for Profits, guys. I'm Will Brooks here again with another great episode. Got another cool guest, somebody who is in my backyard some of the time. We've got a guest today who knows what it takes to stand out in one of the most competitive areas of law, which is personal injury law, which is an area that we work in as well. We have Rob Hartigan, who is the founder of Lionhart Injury Law. It's a modern personal injury law firm that's built on trust, storytelling, and strong partnerships. Robert, thanks for coming. Rob, right? It's Rob. I said Robert, but I think it's Rob,
yeah,
right?
Either one's good. Most people call me Rob, but Robert's
yeah.
fine.
We'll go with Rob. Thanks for coming on today, dude. I'm glad that you're able to join us today and chat with us for a little bit. Let folks out there know a little bit about the firm and you as we get started here.
Yeah, no, man, I'm super excited to be a guest here today. So some background about the firm. I launched the practice June of 2024. And at that time, I was living in Boston, relocated to Atlanta, where my wife is originally from. And ever since then, it's just been, that grind as a solo, but it's been a really fantastic first year. It was from the get-go, just people reaching out, referring cases, and then building the practice, getting more into marketing, building systems within the firm, and just hired my first paralegal a couple weeks ago. So yeah, just really excited for the upcoming year.
Very cool, man. I love it. Just hitting the ground running. I don't get to talk to a lot of attorneys who have just started their firm, which is kind of exciting, right? Usually we're talking with folks who are like, I've been doing this for 30 years and I got to figure out something else. But you're just kind of you're hitting the ground running. I love that. One of the things I was reading is that you guys kind of market yourself as a modern personal injury law firm. What does modern mean to you in the personal injury space?
So I've been practicing now for almost 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And before I started practicing, I was a paralegal at a small personal injury practice during law school. Worked at a practice where it was very old school. So really not so much for technology, but, a lot of paper in the office. And, the technology for the practice of law has just grown so much just in the last couple of years, right? That I wanted to build a personal injury practice that leverages technology to make things more efficient, which is ultimately, better for the client, helps move their cases along faster, and honestly just helps them get justice faster with respect to their case, mm-hmm. without things having to be dragged out or delayed because, a firm is, running things the old way and can't do things more efficiently.
Cool. Yeah. So technology, I mean, that's really the name of the game then, to be modern, right? And that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%. And I can tell you, for me, it was doing a lot of research and just listening to podcasts, right? Trying to find out, what programs are the top attorneys in PI using. So I'm a big fan of Bob Simon and a member of Justice HQ, and
right.
He has given so much information about the latest technology and how to leverage technology and build a strong, modern, law practice. So all of that was, super helpful as far as deciding, what case management software was I going to go with. And there's so much out there now as far as, depositions and, research. It's really been a game changer in the last 2 years with the products that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to a lot of those guys that are running a lot of these, a lot of tech firms that are doing stuff to help out in the legal industry, both on the customer service side and on the side of case management. There's so much stuff out there that you can do to enhance the experience and the results that you get for your clients, for sure. I want to talk a little bit about So you're practicing in both Massachusetts and Atlanta, right? At you got a foot in both areas.
Yep. So I'm licensed in Mass, Georgia, and New Hampshire, and I have locations in both Boston and Atlanta.
So I know that I don't know so much about the Boston market, but I'm
Yeah.
in the Atlanta area, and the Atlanta market for personal injury is cuckoo. Like there are so many, and you can't turn your head without seeing a billboard. And it's a very crowded and competitive market. What are you looking to do to make sure that Lionhart stands out in and Boston's probably the same way. Every major market in the country, I think, is a pretty competitive market for personal injury. How are you getting Lionhart to stand out?
So for me, it's really building a boutique practice that's client focused, right? I don't want to build a volume based practice, and also just client service, right? I've seen some of these firms that that they focus on the volume business model, and you really, when you're, in my opinion, when you're running a practice like that, you really can't dig into the cases as much as you should be.
Yeah.
You can't give that same level of client service. And honestly, it's just going out and building relationships, and doing that with lunches or dinners, getting to know people. That's huge. I can say, I've seen a huge difference comparing Atlanta to Boston as far as the market goes. Atlanta is super competitive, very sophisticated when it comes to marketing. There are some exceptional lawyers in both cities, but particularly in Atlanta, just really exceptional trial lawyers who've dedicated their careers to trying personal injury cases and high-value personal injury cases. So, I noticed a difference, but I will also say that, being new to Atlanta and coming from Boston, I've received so much support just from the, legal community. I'm a member of GTLA, and I actually am one of the members of the GTLA lead class this year. And just, that organization, it's very inspiring to see the work being done there. And again, just all the support I've received throughout the community and colleagues there, it's been outstanding. And then again, with Boston, I mean, that's, where I spent most of my time practicing, and just, it's, I think it's a different vibe, kind of like Northeast versus the South, but
just a little bit.
But I mean, so many like great colleagues and friends in Boston, and I'm still very involved in bar associations there. So it's really cool to be able to practice in two states that are quite different when it comes to PI.
Well, I have to commend you on how you say Atlanta. You say it like you've lived here for a long, long time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great because you don't say that second T. It's Atlanta.
Maybe I've just absorbed that from being there.
No, it's good. It's good. That's a tell for us who are from the Atlanta areas. The people who if you say that second T, if we hear it, we're like, yeah, you're not from here. So good on you, man. Good job there. Let's talk a little bit about partnerships and networking. You did talk about, you mentioned that just a minute ago, networking and meeting with people, lunches, dinners, that kind of thing. What other things are you doing? Are you finding that are working well to kind of build out that referral network for yourself, especially in a new market, right, where you're not as familiar? What are some things that you've been working on that are working for you?
Yeah, I would tell you my approach that has worked, and it's worked in both cities, and just with colleagues all over the country. It truly is just an organic approach, building relationships, getting to know people, and actually like taking the time to follow up with people and really getting to know them. There's a lot of different approaches. I mean, some people do the networking groups out there, right? And there's too many to name, but there's some great ones, and I'm a member of a really good one. But I think that's a different model as far as it's more I say it feels like speed dating a little bit, right?
Sure.
And I just don't think, yeah, maybe you get lucky and somebody sends you a case, from one of those groups or whatever. But truly, for me, what's worked over the last several years is just those relationships that I have with people. And for me, it's been the last 7-8 years. All of my cases have come, let's say 99% of them from word of mouth and just friends, family, colleagues. So it wasn't any sort of like spend on SEO or anything like that. It was just my reputation and just getting to know people. So when you're in a new city, again, you're kind of starting from the ground up, and
Right.
For me, it was just getting more involved in GTLA and just getting to know people and trying to take that same approach. So
Yeah, the human connection, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
I think that works better than anything else.
Yeah.
Almost every single time. You
Yeah.
cannot beat the human connection. That's why we have this podcast. I'll be honest with you, Rob, is to start that human connection with people and kind of get to know people and to build out a network. 100%. So I couldn't agree with you more there, man. That is the exact way to be thinking about things. Let me ask you about the name Lionhart. Kind of that's I like that as a branding play for the name of the firm. Where did that come from, and then kind of what was your thought process as far as naming it Lionhart?
So thought process behind that. I didn't want to just slap my name on the door.
You want to be Rob Hartigan, PI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I wanted to build a brand that was going to essentially be more than just me. And it was going to, have a basically what I'm trying to build is just a team of dedicated lawyers and staff who, go above and beyond for their clients. We try cases. And so when I was coming up with the name, because I came up with some bad ones along the way, and I won't go over or tell you which ones.
Oh no, we got to hear some.
They're written down somewhere. But yeah, so where it came from is so not that I'm into the astrological stuff, but so I'm a Leo.
Okay.
So there's that, and then last name Hartigan. So I just kind of put them together, and
Makes sense.
That's what I came up with.
Well, there's also, and you tie in the, heart of a lion, which is something that people strive to have. And I don't know if you remember it was a king in England a long, long time ago, Richard the Lionheart, who was, loved by his people. So, there's a lot of good connections to that name. It's a great name for a law firm, for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've received a lot of compliments about it, and I didn't do that much of a deep dive into the name. I just said, oh, okay, well, that sounds good. I think that might work.
I know. I like the connection to your sign and to your last name. It works great. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, I also like that thinking in those terms of, as far as with the naming goes. I have a guy that I work with in Detroit who's just started his own firm. He was at another firm that him and a partner had, and they've kind of split up, and he's starting a new firm. And I was talking to him about, what are you going to call it? And he said, I haven't really decided yet, but I'm not going to put my name in the firm because I want, as I bring other attorneys in, I don't want them to feel like they're working for me. I want them to feel like they're working for the firm and that they are a piece of this overall thing. And I think that's a great way to start as far as building culture goes. I think to kind of, I think it maybe applies a different level of ownership to the people who are coming in and working for you at the firm.
I couldn't agree more. So the culture piece of it, when you have people working at your office and your name is on the door, you're going to have, associates or whoever think, hey, well, when's my name going to go on the door? Or, it's just people working for you versus, working for this brand, and, everybody's on the same page as far as the common goals and doing what's best for the firm, the brand, etc.
I think more and more firms are starting to do that as far as the naming goes. So you're seeing less of, Johnson Johnson and Levine. Like you're not seeing as much of that as you might have seen in the past, I think. So
yeah, and I think people, the public, they're more likely to, I guess, be attracted to a brand versus just names on the door, right?
Yeah,
I think for marketing purposes, you can do a lot more with a brand name than just your name, personal injury lawyer, whatever.
or you could just have the words Morgan and Morgan said 875,000 times a day across the country and become the McDonald's of personal injury law firms. So
I will. I won't comment on that. But obviously, they've had a ton of success, and that they do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think for when you're starting out your own practice, that is tough trying to find whatever name you're going to come up with, because the easiest thing is just to slap your name on the door.
Yeah.
So I will. I'll say for me, it's been I've been very lucky, and it's been really great just to have the response I've received just to the whole operation.
No, I love it, man. I love it. And so you're adding team members now. That's so you're kind of taking that step. You're in growth mode.
Yep. Yeah, in growth mode. We're doing some stuff with marketing, and I won't give you too much because we got some big things planned for 2026.
Cool.
So be on the lookout for that. But it's truly been a phenomenal first year. I couldn't have imagined how well things would go in year one. But when you're a solo and you're building your practice, it's definitely a grind. And fortunately, there's so many fantastic resources and mentors out there, and podcast, and again, just being a member of Justice HQ and those resources are truly, truly lucky to have those.
100%, and you have to utilize those, especially if you've just started your own firm, or if you have your own firm that you've had for a while. If you're not utilizing those resources, you're going to get left behind. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your presence, not just in court, but in the community. I think you've got some community partnerships that you're doing. How important is that for the firm and for you personally? Talk to me a little bit about what you have going on there.
So I'll kind of give you what I've been doing over the last few years, and kind of what my plan is going forward. So I've done a lot with bar associations. So in Massachusetts, I was on the Mass Bar Association's Young Lawyers Board of Directors for, I think, 6 years. Phenomenal group. Have some very good friends from that group. And it really just gave me the opportunity to give back, as far as, dedicating my time, volunteering my time to doing, panel discussions, writing articles. I also serve as treasurer of the Essex County Bar Association. So that's my home county, back in Boston, so North Shore. So that's another way for me to give back. And yeah, for Atlanta and Georgia, we live in downtown Decatur, which I truly love that area. It's such a wonderful community. And so I think, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for me to give back to that community. And just being involved in GTLA, the Georgia Trial Lawyers Association, there's going to be plenty of opportunities there. So what I really love about Bar Association involvement is the connections that you make. And also you get to do something beyond your everyday, in the PI world. You're dealing with defense attorneys, insurance adjusters, litigation, prepping for trial. So it allows you to do something different.
Cool. Yeah, man. I think it's super important, and that's that leads back to that networking discussion we were having earlier. It's all a part of that, and that's how you're going to meet the people that are going to help further things for you, for sure. So moving to Atlanta from Boston, tell me what's what's something that you pleasantly surprised you about that shift? Because it's a cultural shift, right? Because I mean, I love Boston, and it's definitely got its own distinct culture,
Yeah.
for sure. So, what surprised you when you moved down to my neck of the woods?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what surprised me.
Could be food, could be anything.
Yeah. No, the food's good. There's so many great restaurants in downtown Decatur. I haven't tried them all yet, but it's still kind of making my way through the food tour of downtown Decatur. It's funny. People complain about the Atlanta traffic, and I say, well, go to Boston and get stuck in a tunnel, that's got 4 lanes and it's underwater, and then you can complain about traffic. But I have been stuck in bad Atlanta traffic, so I do know what that's like.
Wait until you encounter a mysterious ladder on 285. That is something that 285 is kind of known for, is that there's just ladders just in the middle of the road. I guess they fall off trucks all the time, but there are always just ladders.
Yeah.
that stop traffic up big time. So
no, good to know. What else has been a surprise? I mean, it's felt like summer since April. So that, I'm so used to like September, I mean, I'm in Boston right now, it's like 60 degrees, and, you're kind of getting ready for, flannel and, jeans and stuff. And in Atlanta, like, still wearing shorts, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a cool September. So the September has been unusually cool so far. So we're hoping it's going to stick around. But
that's what I heard. But I will say, it just the community is so great, and everybody's just so nice and welcoming. So that was just really just great to be able to move to a city that where I've experienced that, versus you can move to other places and you don't really kind of get that welcome. So
the Southern hospitality was real for you.
I do think, I think it's real. I believe in it. Now it's that is very different from Boston, right? So I don't think I've yet had somebody in Atlanta like scream or give me the finger in traffic.
Oh, it happens. Believe me.
Yeah, but at least maybe once a trip back to Boston, you kind of deal with that. But very different vibes, and on that front.
Very cool, man. Well, I'm glad to have you down here in our neck of the woods. And I'm glad that you still have your connection back up in Boston as well. That's very cool that you're kind of working both spots. And I hope that that's something you're able to continue to do. Rob, man, I really have enjoyed having you on the pod and hearing your perspective on starting a new firm out. And I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do in 2026 and beyond, and what you guys have planned. Before we go, let people know out there how they can get in touch with you, how they can find the firm.
Awesome. Yeah. So you can find us. So website is lionhartlaw.com, LIONHART law.com. 855-343-0997 is the number. And then you can also email me, rob@lionhartlaw.com.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate your time. Best of luck as you move forward with your with the new venture of the firm, man. Congratulations on a great first year. And like I said, I can't wait to see how things progress for you guys. Those of you who are watching the pod today live, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you are watching the recorded version on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, or listening on those spots, I should say, we appreciate you guys tuning in as well. Make sure you like and follow the page, and give us a follow, and tune in tomorrow. I've got 2 more episodes of the pod coming out tomorrow with some more great guests. Hopefully they'll be as enjoyable as Rob has here. And Rob, again, thanks so much for your time today, buddy. And hopefully we'll have you back on soon to see how things are progressing for you. Maybe we'll get you back on in 2026 and kind of see what the new things planned, how they're going for you. But until next time, we will see you guys back here tomorrow on another great episode of Partnership for Profits. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Partnerships for Profit. We hope you've gained valuable insights on how to form profitable partnerships and take your business to the next level. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Got a partnership story to share or someone you'd like to see featured on the show? Reach out to us. Until next time, keep building those partnerships for profit.